So I'm gonna be on a TV show and I fly out tomorrow. I have been cast on season 14 of the Blox, which is an entrepreneurship-based TV show where you live in for a week and compete against other entrepreneurs. In this season, we had over 100 different businesses competing for the grand prize. Day zero, when I landed, I actually went straight to a client's gym and started shooting this content here. So I had a 3-hour shoot the second I landed, and then ended up going in to check into the hotel and get ready for the time that the filming was starting. So had a client find out I was in town and had to accommodate accordingly. First day we land, we're heading straight to the gym, getting a workout in, getting ready for day one. This is the first day of the competition. Got to get the shoes on, ready to go. Can you restate the question?
Yes. What was the question?
Bring in contractors more consistently, and I have those margins built into my numbers when I bid out a project. If it just needs a solo shooter, it's straight profit for me, but I do have overhead costs. I have a studio and software and all the other stuff. But yes, I could take on 50% more workload with my current team.
Well, that's something worth talking about. It's really important to understand your opportunity. Your greatest opportunity right now is being able to increase your revenues without having to build a further infrastructure. When you add 1 employee, 10 employees, 15 employees, you start getting distracted from generating revenue to managing the team and operations. And at this point, you've built an operation that could double your revenue, and that would give you a lot of revenue to hire employees that may be less productive, but to allow you down that avenue. Therefore, I would like to employ on you a sense of urgency that you really do need to implement the strategies that you already know how to do, because you've built a business where you may be comfortable and you're confident, which I can tell, but now you have an opportunity to double that revenue. You know, inside right here, as I heard that, it's like, man, I wish right now I could say I could double my business with the team that I have, because the reality is I can't.
What's up, boys and girls? Just getting into my room. It is almost 11 o'clock. I'm so tired. I got up at like 7 this morning. It's been nonstop sessions, small group, just a ton of stuff today. Just got done with a round table discussion, just like talking about our hardships that we're going through in business with another group, which was fun. Very mentally taxing day. I have a ton of notes in my notebook, so really looking forward to day number 2 tomorrow, but I'm going to sleep. One, two, three, four, five.
Mindset shift. Do it.
Hi everybody, my name is Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes Thod. I'm the owner of Snaadt Media Group. We're a video production company based in Central Iowa, specializing in corporate video and helping you guys and everyone out there get the most out of their marketing and actually move the needle and not just look cool.
Very cool. Tell me about your background.
Yeah, so I first got my first camera when I was in college. I worked in Target at the time, so I used my employee discount, got a $500 T5 camera, and nights and weekends, little projects here and there. The first year I made $10,000 with it just when I was in college. And I was like, this could be something, which is kind of fun. So fast forward to graduation, ended up working for a production firm, had 20 employees, and we did large scale productions for, talk about 15, 20 people on set. Like, it was a really cool experience. And I was on the marketing side for all of that, so I never touched a camera. But I was moonlighting nights and weekends with my business, and came up on COVID time. I was engaged to my wife at the time, and we were looking at emerging finances, and I'm like, there's a lot of debt here. We have like so much debt. So we ended up paying off $116,000 of our debt in a year and a half.
Oh, beautiful.
And in the process, I am a money hoarder by nature, so I had all this money from the last 8 years of shooting projects that I paid the taxes on. I just kept it because I'm like, emergency fund, type thing. But once we had a goal and mission with it, I put all the money from the business into the debt, and we looked up, and I had a 6-figure business when I was still working full time. So left my business left the company I was working for, and have been doing my business ever since. So that's how I got into it.
How what's the time frame are we in? As far as being launched?
Yep, so we're year 3 full time. It's been very aggressive growth for me. My business is 75% profit margin, so I was working from home up until last year, and I got a studio space last year that I'm leasing. So And as another vertical of my business, I've been offering more video podcasting because that's been a huge resurgence lately. So I used to go, my crew and I would go to someone's business, set it up, tear it down. Now we have a place they can come to us. We can just like rinse and repeat. They come in, sit down, do their episode, leave. And now with AI, we can edit that episode that took an hour or 3 hours to edit. Now it can take 15 minutes, which is expedited how we can charge clients and do things very, very efficiently. Giving a piece of my baby away, because it's something I've been doing for 8 years. And I've always been by myself. Like, I'm kind of a go out, hunt it, kill it, drag it home type person. And being as I am, I just don't want to give up any control or have someone tell me how it can work. But now looking at minority ownership to accelerate the brand is something I'm really, really interested in looking at from both the examples we presented today. Like, oh, it's a $50,000 project, cool. We'll send the paperwork over and get off the call, and there's no one in there. I'm like, yes, and there's like no one there. So it's like that's where I want to focus my attention is business leadership, sales, marketing, that type of thing. So an ideal partner for me would be somebody that could come in that would be the head of production, that could run all the shoots, and then would eventually evolve into kind of a manager role as we build the team out. So they would run all the shoots, manage the production so I don't have to be there, and I can focus more on big picture items and really try to scale the business.
Very interesting, because creatives there are very few of us that are both creative and enjoy the business. So
yeah, it makes the mundane not so mundane. I would probably still come on shoots every once in a while just to get out, but I'm a weirdo. Like, I love the business stuff, and I'm like the weird black sheep of the creative industry.
So what we have in here that you have considered would be production manager at 15% equity and a secondary person at 20%. What is that secondary person?
Yeah, so the secondary was kind of I looked at it as a media partnership. So I would be buying into another person's idea.
Okay.
So the concept was I have online course clients that come to me and they say, hey, I want to build, because I've done it 7 times now. I've made online programs for clients. We're mentioning doing that, like that's what I do. But I had a lot of people say, well, I can't front the production costs because we're going to film for a week. It's tens of thousands of dollars. I don't have the cash. Like, we can't do it. So this would be an opportunity where I could come into a client and say, I want to be a minority investor in your business. You have this great idea for an online program that I know would sell. I would basically give them production costs for a flat fee. I think my example was $1,000 per month just to cover the production costs. And then I would get a percentage of the back end of their sales of their course. And then I would be involved in that process of helping them launch it, software tools, that type of thing. So it kind of took a weird spin on that of me being an investor in someone else's business using my skill set.
Absolutely. Any IP there?
None that I could trademark. Everything's between the ears. And that's a big piece of it too, like especially with the video marketing stuff. That's the huge differentiator for our business is that when I say we, it's like the marketing side is all my brain of like I sit down with the client and I walk through their challenges. How do you leverage the video to get more sales, drive revenue, decrease churn, whatever the business is. So using that strategy for the clients would be another kind of like IP piece that I would bring to the deal.
I love that. And that's such an interesting take on it and such a unique value proposition. I'm here for it.
Yeah, because I was looking at other roles in my business. I'm like, I don't think I need anybody else. I just need a head of production. We could double revenue and then hit the valuation we were talking about earlier. So.
Firm, and I was walking up to you and said, I give you $1 million for 5%. Would you tell me no?
At this stage, yes, because I know that they're going to expect some kind of return multiple that I can't guarantee at this moment because I don't have the systems and processes in to vet my value, if that makes sense.
They might, but it's taking 5%. So they're paying you're paying them back 5% of equity. Sure, there might be, most venture capital firms are not going to necessarily put in these terms that if you don't meet it, you have to pay back $1 million, not a loan.
Sure.
So if I were a venture capital company and I wanted to give you $1 million for 5%, which is what valuation?
For 5%? So it'd be, what, 50 million valuation? Am I...
Take a breath, try again.
What was is
$1 million for 5%. What am I valuing your company at?
Oh, 50 million.
You're just nervous.
500 million? I'm sorry, guys. My mind's
Okay.
Day 4 here on the Blox here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Had my interview this morning for my own personal story, so got all dudded up. I got to head down and get breakfast. I just did a workout this morning.
Feeling a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday, day 3, was the hardest day for me. I did not do my presentation well enough in my eyes and kind of had a little breakdown halfway through the day. I had to go outside and get some air. But it's some of those days, like some of these days challenge us to think differently in our business. And yesterday was one of those days for me with taking on late term or late stage investing because I never looked to sell my business. So it opened my eyes a little bit more to being a little more forthright with those ideas because eventually you're going to exit at some time. So all that to be said, I'm really excited about today. I saw the topic for today that we're going to be tested on in our pods is personal branding, which I would argue is one of the strongest assets of my business. So super pumped to dig into the information, crush the pods, and hopefully get on stage tonight. So you heard it here first, folks. Feeling really good, and we're getting into it today.
There you go, perfect.
Sweet. About the late stage investing portion of this entire competition was I'm a little out of the league of that stage. Some people don't think they'll grow to that stage, or they don't think about, as I would say, the retirement stage when they're a teenager. Like they're so early in their business that they don't think about the end. But I think it's a healthy thing to think about because if you have a really good idea and you pivot your business, you could potentially be looking at needing to have venture capital or potentially having an exit or private equity or something like that down the road. I was one of those people when this topic came up, and it really had to force me to think differently because my business has been my baby for 8 years. I don't plan to ever sell it, but it will end at some point. Whether I die, I close it because I retire, I sell it to an employee. So I need to be thinking about strategic ways to grow it and how to make it more valuable without me there. So it's a good exercise to do. To hire my first employee, so went through a hiring process last month and the person said no to my offer, which was kind of a shot to the heart, but it's the first time. So I know that that's the bottleneck in my business, which is me. So trying to duplicate myself and have more people on staff.
It's a common challenge, and it's good that you've recognised that. It's a shame that they didn't want to join the odd firm. But look, things happen for a reason. It would have been a lot worse if you'd have offered them the role, they'd have taken it, and then they'd have done nothing for a couple of months.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason, for sure.
Exactly. What kind of owned media do you have?
There's quite a bit. The main thing is I have a lot of lead magnets from my YouTube channel that has been very, very helpful in building an audience. So I have about 7,000 people on the email list from there. I also have a bunch of other material that has gone out that is behind a paywall that people can access, as well as free material on my YouTube channel, a podcast, and a bunch of other things like that.
Okay. And what's the open rate for your email?
About 25%. I don't overstimulate my audience, and I was talking with a coach that's also here as a Bloxer, and she's like, Ryan, you're sitting on a 93,000 member Facebook group and you're not like constantly selling them, and you have 6,000 people in your why are you? I don't want to abuse people's attention and time, and that's again a piece of my brand that I try to hold true and to stay authentic, because I feel like if you're constantly throwing chum in the water and just trying to, as we said earlier, cut the foam off the top of the coffee, you become again inauthentic. So my production business pays my bills. My personal brand is a nice little bonus. So I try not to abuse people, because you can really tell out in the marketplace when people live off their personal brand, because they will use and abuse their audience, in my opinion, because that's the only way they make money. So I try to avoid that at all costs.
Good morning. This is day 5 of the experience. This is the very last day. It's been a pretty interesting week so far. Learned a lot about a bunch of different types of topics, from marketing to late stage investors, fundraising, all the different stuff that we need to do to grow. So as you can tell, my throat's all screwed up because I have been talking too much. And then we were out pretty late last night, just talking. And in the casino area, it's very smoky since you can smoke here. So my throat's all screwed up. So hopefully I can get it oiled up and ready to pitch today. Yesterday, the topic was something that I was very confident in winning my pod. So it was personal branding and inbound marketing, which are two things that I think I do pretty well, candidly. So I'm pretty sure I got second place because I feel like I crushed my pod. So it's kind of a letdown at the Blox off ceremony when they announced I was not up on the stage. But regardless, I know I'm going to be using many things from this week and actually implemented it into my business. So excited to do day 5. I'm trying to just take a grain of salt here and not be so serious and just have fun with it. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll let you guys know.
Hi everybody, my name is Ryan Snaadt, it rhymes with odd, and I'm the owner of Snaadt Media Group. We're a video production company based in central Iowa, helping brands of all shapes and sizes better understand their marketing strategy. Today I want to talk about the 3 customer acquisition strategies that I want to implement in my business. But before we start into that, I already know a lot of my metrics from this. So I know a third of my customers come from content marketing currently, a third come from organic SEO on my website, and a third come from repeat customers and referrals. So with that in mind, I want to try 3 new channels that are going to help facilitate more growth to the company. The first one is SEM. The second is going to be email, and then the third is going to be social media ads. So the reason I chose PPC or SEM is because my industry is actually a demand harvesting approach because it's video marketing. So people would usually be searching in Google video production Des Moines or video production Iowa. So there's a lot of attention already coming from that.
It is 3 a.m. We are wrapped, day 5. I've been drinking since like 11 p.m. So super cool to get hammered and play beer pong and talk with all of the judges, people of authority, and have that fun experience with people. So just wanted to say the Blox was awesome. I'm taking a shit ton of stuff home with me. And mark my words, in 3 years, I will have a $1 million a year business. So take that with a grain of salt. See you guys in 3 years. Peace. Well, that's the end of the trip. We're heading home today. Traveling out in about 2 hours or so. The after party stayed up till about 3 or 4 in the morning last night. I haven't stayed up that late drinking and talking with people since I was in college. So amazing experience. This whole thing's really changed my entrepreneurial journey and my trajectory in my business. Really excited to get on the plane, start making my action list for things when I get home, and start attacking this stuff. I'm super pumped. So if you're watching this and you were here, it was really fun meeting you. Make sure to connect in real life, and we'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes with odd, and I'm out.